carbon battery, maybe the next gen. It just feels like the perfect phone for that, obviously being super thin like this. But it is also still, it's actually the fastest charging foldable Samsung's ever made. It's 45-watt charging now with a charger included in the box. So that's pretty nice. And they also kept 15-watt wireless charging along with the IP48 rating from the Z Fold 7. So the specs are pretty solid, sure. But the reason I'm saying that this phone is making foldables make sense now is because the screen that you get when you unfold it, this widescreen 10-inch tablet, is a massive difference from all the regular folds. Yeah, I think this really says it all. This is a full screen video on a regular slab phone. And we're all used to this, right? Now, this is the same full screen video on the inside screen of a fold. You know, it's a big screen technically. It's an 8-inch square, but the video frame that you're watching is not that much bigger. There's just a bunch of blank pixels around it. So this is the same video on the trifold, and you see how much better that is. That's the main theme here for why this is worth exploring, this widescreen aspect ratio thing. In this case, it's 16 by 11, and it just really makes for a way more expansive canvas. Full screen videos, also full screen games feel really nice. There's a ton more real estate for them. And while we're at it, here's a few more nicely optimized things I noticed while playing with this large horizontal display. The Files app lets you see multiple columns at once, so you can fit a whole 3 layers of the file system deep and see it all. The YouTube app also looks really nice, basically because it's just the tablet YouTube app, so you can scroll related videos or read comments while the video still plays in a pretty big window. Web browsing is also just better from having a sheer ton of real estate. I keep using that phrase, but I actually enjoyed a lot of regular apps, just like the web browser or social media apps, in portrait mode and landscape mode, just because they feel huge. Also side-by-side apps, whether you split them top-bottom or left-right, you can do 3 apps side-by-side. They all just have way more room to breathe instead of being compressed and tiny. Oh, and this just happens to be the only Samsung phone that they'll let you run Samsung Dex on its own. So without being connected to a monitor, it will do the multi-window and multiple spaces with different setups with a connected mouse and keyboard. And if you do connect it to a monitor, you can have it act as a second screen, which is smart. I also got to say, I've only spent a little bit of time with this phone, but I do feel like you can see that it is very well considered. Like, I can almost feel like the different variations and versions that they went through to get to this point. Like, for example, opening the phone, you always pull from the same spot. They made the bottom leaf of this trifold just a little bit longer than the other two, so it actually sticks out a little bit. And that is super convenient to just grab that little lip to open it up. And then the strength of the magnets that hold it together are really nice and solid. And then you pull the lip, it opens. Then the leftmost hinge also springs nicely open because there's a lot of nice force to it. It all just feels very solid to open and close. Then the nice smooth fiberglass composite on the back. You know, this is the only color available for this phone, but I also think it makes a lot of sense because it's touching screen on the back here. It's also a huge fingerprint magnet, so that's too bad. But then, you know, you can only fold it a certain way. Left side first, then right side, which wraps around it. So if you try to fold the right side first, it gives you this little message and vibrates and tells you, no, don't do that. That's not how you fold this phone. Also, without a case, I noticed that just like the Fold 7, this is one of the biggest rockers on a table the world has ever seen. But alongside that charger, this phone also comes with a case that basically fixes that. So what's the catch? There's got to be a reason why not everyone's doing this. There has to be downsides, right? Well, yes, but there's not that many. Like the middle screen is the obvious one. This is going to be the most delicate part of the phone, having a display that not only folds twice, but also folds in 2 different directions and with 2 different radii. Like you can obviously see these creases if you're looking for them, but you can also see that the crease on the left is a little bit smaller than the crease on the right because it is a tighter curve radius when you fold it up versus folding the right side around the left side. I also obviously don't have any long-term data on using this phone, but I would consider this a first